Hello and welcome to Space Shark Teaches. I'm Sean from Space Shark Studios, and I'm here to teach you visual scripting in Godot 3.1. Let's get started. In this lesson, we're going to teach you how to add your own images and finally getting to moving the ball using actions, conditions, and keyboard input. So first off, we need to add some new images because this is getting boring. So to do that, we are first going to add a new folder called Sprites. So over here in the file system area, we're going to right click, go to new folder, and name something Sprites. Now we can go ahead and drag our icon up into there. Everything will rearrange itself and we now have a Sprites folder. So we are going to be using 3 images that I created specifically for the next quite a few tutorials. So ball, platform, and player. Player will be used in the next lesson. I want you to take all 3 of these, which the links for those are available down in the YouTube description. They are hosted for you. All you have to do is download them. You're going to take them and drag them over into Sprites, or I guess over into the project and then up into Sprites. So something really important that I'm not going to go over right now, exactly why, but go ahead and select all 3, click on the Import tab, go to Presets, and click 2D Pixel. Now go ahead and hit Re-import, and this tells the system that yes, these are 2D pixel icons. Do not stretch them in ways that's going to screw up they won't get all stretched out and blurred out like they can if you take them into a different program. So next we need to go ahead and start replacing sprites. So go into your ball scene. You can replace it with the ball, and then you have to go ahead and resize it. I hold shift to get that nice equal sizing. Save that. Now go into the platform and we're going to do the same thing. Drag the platform over into here, and then we're going to have to go ahead and rescale the platform. Save that. Go over here, and now we have, as you can see, a badly drawn basketball and some sort of platform. All right, so that is how you get your own 2D pixel art images into the game. You just drag them into here, make sure you set up your preset to 2D pixel, click re-import, and you're good. So now let's get to the fun stuff. We're actually going to make these move using a script, but not in the same way that we have it right now, where if you go into scripts and physics process, you can see that we are just setting it to a static velocity every frame or every cycle. Instead, we actually want to use something called an action node. So over here in available nodes, we're going to type in action and drag that in. So what action does is it takes one of these standard, so over on the right in your inspector, one of these standard actions, most of them are tied to your arrow keys or enter and stuff like that, and we are going to choose right. That means your right arrow key will cause this to be true, because it's a Boolean, yes or no. For mode, pressed means it is currently being pressed. Released means it is currently not being pressed. Just pressed will only fire once. Just released will only fire once. So it's the difference between click and hold. Basically, think of it like that. We are going to go with just pressed. And since we have this, we are going to also change this function from set axis velocity. We're going to use something called apply impulse, which is almost like it's getting kicked each time. This is a rigid body, which, like I said, I mean, you can even see it shows a little beach ball. It's because it accepts physics from the outside world like an impulse, which a kick is an impulse. And we're going to have that be there instead. Move these out of the way. And how do we actually use this action? We are actually going to use something called a condition. So let's disconnect this wire from physical process to apply impulse. Drag it out again, and we are going to use a condition. A condition says if this incoming Boolean, like I said, Boolean means true or false. If this is true, do this, otherwise do whatever false is plugged into, and then regardless of whichever one of these is run, do this next. That's what this done comes out of. So if we just go ahead and change that, that's all we changed. Let's go ahead and make sure this offset is not weird. So all we changed was adding this condition, this action, and changing this to apply impulse. Go ahead and press play. And anytime you can hear the key click, and it slows down because we have physics on that rigid body, which has friction, which means it will stop. But you can see it's like we're kicking the ball each time. And if we wanted to, we could go in here and say, all right, 10 isn't enough. Let's change that one to 50. Let's just change this one to 500 and see how hard we can actually kick it. And you can even see where it slides a bit before the friction catches it and starts it rolling. And that's it. We are now moving things on the screen based on keyboard clicks, which means that in the next lesson, we are going to be going over how to control the new player that we just dragged in, which means moving left and right and jumping, which will take a couple of lessons. So bear with us. Making a controller for a player isn't super straightforward. Thank you for watching Space Shark Teaches. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe to the channel and remember to click the bell to always stay up to date. Please also join us on our Discord, linked in the comments, and check out our other videos if you ever want to see what else we've been up to. Thanks again for watching, and we can't wait to see what you make.